So this is the transformational model of coaching. And sometimes as coaches, we get it wrong. We just jump and miss so many different steps. So this transformational model sort of breaks it down with a conversational thing that I've put in here to make you realize that how sometimes we jump a step or two and we don't get the learning, so therefore we can't shift that client. So the transformational model seeks to expand clients' awareness and understanding of how to progress to where they're wanting to go. So part of it is removing assumptions. When using the models, it's important to leave out any assumptions. Assumptions are hallucinations about what you may think just happened or was just said. An example of this is below. Now, make sure you go through the examples and get the learning out of it, because I'm going to talk through it reasonably fast, but I want you to go through it. So a client says, they really hurt my feelings. We'd say, okay, what do you want to do? Well, hang on. We've totally missed everything. Why have their feelings hurt? Why have their feelings been hurt? What meaning do they give to an event? But we're just going, cool, what do you want to do? So this mismatch left out a number of steps in the coaching process. There are questions that could have been asked. Client says, they really hurt my feelings. The coach, a good coach, will say, what did they do that caused you to choose to be hurt? Now, this question moves the client from powerless to empowered. They can choose their feelings. No one can make anyone feel hurt. What did they do that caused you to choose to be hurt? It's so much difference. Ask a big question, and they give you a response, and you learn from that. The client will say, they kept ignoring me. What meaning did you give to their ignoring you? This question is moving the client from generalizations to a specific evidence. So it went from they hurt my feelings, what does that mean, to now they kept ignoring me. So now we can start to really understand what's going on here. This is called chunking down. It's a valuable technique for removing assumption from the conversation. From then, they kept ignoring me. We break it down. The client says, I felt they didn't care. Now the coach can now say, have people ever ignored you who you knew didn't care? This question is getting the client to think of different meanings they could have assigned to what they believed happened. So now it's gone from they kept ignoring me to I felt that they didn't care. And now we're asking, have people who ignored you in the past ever knew, did they care? Client, well, yes, but that's not what happened here. Okay. Coach, what do you think happened? The client, I think they just didn't think. Interesting. Have you ever done that? This question is designed to get the client to see the situation from someone else's point of view. The client will say, well, yeah, coach. Client, but I don't like it. Coach, do you think being ignored is a measure of you or a measure of them? Again, this question is again about allowing your client to shift their focus to what they can control or influence, which is only ever themselves. Client, I haven't thought of it that way before. Coach, because what we choose to believe about a situation is up to us, don't you think? This question includes a presupposition, a statement that is not supported by the fact and evidence. This is an extremely powerful way to move the client to empowerment. Yes, it is up to me. Coach, what meaning would you like to give to this situation? Now we're back where the original question began. We can now ask what they would like to shift. Client, that it doesn't matter. Interesting. What would that take? Notice the question is open and they can commit to shifting either a belief or an action now that they are ready to make that shift they weren't ready for earlier. The following model is to assist us in coaching and mapping out the possible focuses in any coaching series. It's really effective in really breaking down that. So it ends by saying pretty much what we started with, they really hurt my feelings. We've totally brought it all the way back. And when you go through this in your own time, and I suggest you just go over this a number of times just to see the transformation. Because everything that happens, it's so important that we're onto it. We get it. We're thinking already in advance where we need to take this client. At the start, they really hurt my feelings. The coach, what do you want to do about it? Oh, I don't know. Like, that doesn't take you anywhere. We go, what do they do that caused you to choose to be hurt? What meaning did you give to them ignoring you? Have people ever ignored you who didn't care before? What do you think happened? Have you ever done that? Do you think being ignored is a measure of you or a measure of them? Because what we choose to believe about a situation is up to us, don't you think? What meaning would you like to give to the situation? What would that take? It's really, really important that we break it down. So it means that every time we're on the phone with someone, whether it be a Kickstarter, a breakthrough, or a discovery, we're really trying to shift, make aware, and apply conscious thought to what we're doing. We control that. So we've got to make sure we're hanging on to every word that they say and we really use that to create growth. So this is a quick, summary of the transformational model. And this is an example here of how to break it down and how to really shift their perceptions and beliefs. So go through it in your own time. Get the learning out of this. There's a real learning in this. I want you to just go through it, get the learning, and make sure you realize the power you have in each and every question that you ask to shift your client.